Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Live. I'm Brittany Howard, Diamond Ambassador. And I am so excited to talk to you guys about a topic that I feel like we just can never get enough of. And that is about creating business builders. Because I feel like also this is the question that everybody asks the most. How do I find, attract, and keep business builders or leaders on my team? And the truth is, I believe pretty much anybody can do that. It is a skill that can be learned, and it is imperative if you want to make the big bucks in your network marketing business that you learn and master this skill. Okay. So this call tonight is for those of you who want to make 6 figures a year or more. If you aspire to make over $100,000 or even $1 million a year or more, that is my audience. That's who I'm talking to tonight. Okay. And if that's not your goal, then that is perfectly fine too. You can hang out and listen, because I'm sure you'll find some value that you could share with your friends who do want to make that much money. Or feel free to jump off the call. But I'm just laying it out there before I even jump in. That's who I'm talking to. Okay. So some of you are going to be very inspired by this, and others of you might not be. Others of you might think, oh, that's a lot of work and I'm just not sure if I'm willing. And that is totally fine too. But for those of you who are willing and who are ready to go all in and make a lot of money, earn financial freedom, make your dreams come true, have the lifestyle that you want for you and your family, that's who I'm talking to tonight. All right. So this is what it's going to take for you to create business builders. First of all, you have to be hungry for it. And if I were going to sit and make a list of all of the pros and cons of trying to earn financial freedom in a network marketing business model, I would have on the pros side all the advantages of network marketing, a list that is a mile long. And if I were going to write out the cons, the disadvantages, then there would literally be one thing on that side. And it would be, you're going to face some rejection. And so that's important for you to understand up front. If you expect that and just normalize it, then it's not going to feel like when you do face that, oh, so I must be doing something wrong, because you're not. Like, it's just part of growing this business and scaling this business to something that is large. That is just part of the territory, right? So a lot of times I sit around and I just am in awe of what Plexus has offered for me and my family. And seriously, it just blows my mind sometimes. But there have been several occasions where I've been sitting there alone and I would just look around me at my surroundings that Plexus has provided, and I would just think, I'll scratch my head and just in bewilderment, like, why doesn't everybody do this? And bottom line, it is because, not that everybody couldn't do this, but not everybody's willing to, because it's easier to go to a job where you just show up, trade your hours for dollars, and provide a service to your employer, and get your work done without having to deal with things like rejection or your own stuff, like your own insecurities, because this business has a way of bringing up some stuff, right? And it's just way easier to not have to deal with that. But easier does not mean better. And if you're willing to live with that fact, then you can do some great things with this business model. Okay. So you have to be hungry for it though, because not every day is going to feel like sunshine and rainbows. Now, some days will. Some days you will feel like you are on cloud 9. Other days you are going to feel like you want to pull your hair out. Both are normal, but in order to push through the days where you feel like you want to pull your hair out or just downright feel like quitting because it feels hard, then the hunger is what is going to drive you to push through those challenges that are inevitable, and they will come. Okay. So you have to be hungry for this if you want to find, create, develop, and keep strong business builders who are leaders, who are going to help you climb through the ranks in the company, and who also will climb through the ranks in the company. It starts with your own hunger. Okay. You also have to be self-motivated. If I were going to write down a list of 100 qualities that any one person could possess in order to be successful at this business, I could narrow it down to one that is the most important. And that is, you're going to have to be self-motivated. It's that important. If you are not self-motivated, you're likely not going to be very successful. And I'm just being honest. You're not checking in or clocking in to a boss. Like, you don't clock in, clock out. There's nobody looking over your shoulder, make sure you're doing your work or make sure you're showing up every day. Accountability is up to you. It's your business. You have to take ownership of it. And that's going to require you to be somewhat self-motivated. If you want to earn 6 figures and 7 figures and beyond, then you got to be really self-motivated. Okay. But that comes from a hunger. And I think anybody can be self-motivated. The ones who are willing, the ones who are hungry, they find the motivation. Okay. Or they also don't believe the lie that they have to feel motivated before they can take any action. They're going to take the action even if they don't feel motivated. But bottom line is, they don't wait around for someone else to motivate them or hold them accountable before they're going to do the work that is required in order for their business to grow. All right. If you are hungry for this, you will possess like this drive to figure things out. You're not going to wait on your upline to tell you what to do. You're not going to wait for the right training to fall into your lap. You will possess an inner drive to figure it out. All of the things in this business that will lead you to 6 or 7 figures and beyond are figure outable. And if you are hungry for this, you'll be willing to do what it takes to figure it out. And also, you're going to have to be hungry enough to work hard. Because is there another business model out there where you could, in less than a year, even, because I did go from silver to emerald, and I was earning 6 figures within 12 months. Is there another business model that I could do that on my terms, in my own hours that I chose, with the people that I wanted to, earn fantastic prizes along the way, huge cash bonuses, lots of recognition on a stage in front of thousands of people, go on luxurious trips, have a car paid for, and also on top of that, earn 6 figures? I can't think of one that would not require me to like leave my home, maybe put my toddlers in daycare and things like that. Okay. So, and also work like around the clock. So I have been able to earn 6 figures and multiple 6 figures, sometimes working full-time hours, sometimes working part-time hours, but more often than not, I work part-time hours. And so this business model allows you to compress a 30-year career into about 3, because most people will work their entire career and not make the amount of money that you could make if you were to go all in and figure out the skills and master them in a very short amount of time. Which if you're going diamond in less than 5 years, that we would consider that very fast. Okay, because I just can't think of enough. Think about what diamonds make on average is about what a physician makes. How many years does a physician have to go to school? Most of the time on student loan debt. And then usually it's like 8 years they have to go to school before they can even get in the field and start their practice and start making money. Then they have to pay the student loan debt off before they ever even make a profit, right? So we're talking about a decade at least before they are considering themselves profitable. And you can do that here in less than 5, 3 to 5, if you go all in and you're working this thing like a business. Okay. So, but you got to be hungry in order to create those types of results in that short of amount of time. And by the way, we've had people do it way sooner. We've had people on our team do it sooner than that. I mean, April went diamond in 2 years. So it's definitely possible, but it requires you to be hungry. So my first question in regards to if you are creating and developing business builders is, are you hungry? And if you're not hungry, what would it take for you to get there? Like, what would it take? What would make this worth it for you to be willing to get out of your comfort zone, put the work in, and make your dreams a reality? So that's the first thing, is you're going to have to be hungry. All right. Second thing, you're going to have to create business builders. And that just goes without saying, right? You're not, I mean, that's the whole topic of the call, is how to create business builders. But let me tell you why that's important. If you were to go to a network marketing conference, and I don't mean like one that is company specific, but there are these network marketing conferences that people put on, and they will call top industry leaders from different companies to the stage, and they'll do like a panel, and they will ask them, how many people have you personally sponsored into your business? And on average, the answer across the board is about 100. That's average. And I would say that is about true in Plexus too. I would say if you were to ask all the diamonds in Plexus, how many people did you personally enroll before you hit diamond? I think it would be an average of 100. Some people would have done it with less. Some people would have done it with way more. Okay. I think for me, it was about 100. Christina, I think hers was like 500. And so you won't know your own odds until you do it. But I'll tell you what, 100% of the people who quit don't make it a diamond. That's some odds you can take to the bank. Okay. And then the next question that they follow up with is when they ask them, how many people have you personally enrolled? And they, on average, say 100. Then they ask, how many of those make you the most money? And unanimously, the answer is either 2 or 3. Most of them say, or all of them will say either 2 or 3. That's just how it works out. Okay. So it's really hard to recruit yourself past Ruby. Ruby is the first leadership level. And while there are some mega recruiters in Plexus who have gone Ruby or beyond on their own by just massively recruiting high numbers every month, but don't really have a team working under them, that is definitely the exception and not the rule. If you want to climb through the ranks and you want to earn 6 figures and beyond, you are going to have business builders. You have to have it. Like, it's a non-negotiable. Okay. And here's the way this business model works. It starts with you being very hungry enough to work hard, hungry enough to figure things out, hungry enough to be self-motivated, even on the days where it feels hard. But when you have 2 or 3 people that on your team who want this and are as hungry for this as you are, hungry in all the ways that I just described, you have 2 or 3 people like that, you will likely be emerald, climbing very quickly towards diamond. That's what it's going to take. So you've got to have this focus in the forefront of your mind of, I've got to create 2 to 3 people who are as hungry for this as I am. That means they're willing to do all the same things I'm willing to do. Do you have 2 or 3 people on your team like that? And if you don't, then that's what you need to be focused on in your business. Okay. So you need 3 people who are as hungry for this as you are. And those 3 people, if they want to climb through the ranks, they need the same thing. So if you were to map out your team and just draw like stick figures with yourself at the top, and then connected to all of your level 1s, like just draw a line from your name to all of your level 1s, and then under them, draw a line to all of their level 1s. Would you be able to say that you have 3 people who are as hungry for this as you are, and that all the people under you, like those 3 who you're saying are as hungry as you are, do they also have 3 people who are as hungry as they are? And then same thing holds true on down the line. Okay. That is how this business model works. And it really is that simple. You don't have to have 1 million people. You don't even have to have 10,000 people to get to the top of the pay plan. You just need a few who have a few who have a few that are as hungry for this as you are. That is what it's going to take. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about how to do that. So the first thing is you have to believe that you can do that. Everything is going to be created twice, once in your mind and then in actual reality. Your belief, whatever you are believing about network marketing, about Plexus, about this opportunity, about our products, whatever you are truly believing in your heart of hearts, that will come out in your posture. It's going to come out in your behavior. It's going to come out in the way you talk to people. So my question for you is, what are you filling your mind with? I loved last week when I was talking to Fallon and on the team call, which yes, I am going to post that recording. I haven't yet, but I will. She said that when she was like silver to gold level, that she was constantly playing Eric Worre CDs with success stories of people who had made $1 million or more in network marketing. And so that just built her belief that she was going to do it. She didn't necessarily know how she was going to do it or when it was going to happen, but she just knew that it was going to, because she was constantly filling her mind with things that would feed her belief and starve her fear. What are you doing to feed your belief? And what are you doing to intentionally starve your fear? Because if you're not intentional about doing both of those things, then guess which one is going to naturally take over? Obviously, your fear. That is true for every single one of us, including myself, maybe especially myself. Okay. So what are you filling your mind with on a daily basis? And what are you doing to starve your fear? And what does it even mean to starve your fear? Well, it means that if something is causing you to feel fear, then you just simply remove that from your life. Like, stop doing that. Stop associating with those people. I mean, it's just as simple as that. It's not easy, but it is simple. Like, you're going to have to remove negative influences from, and I'm not saying just like write people off that you love very much, but I am saying that you are going to become an average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And so it is really important that you evaluate what you are allowing into your mind, because you're going to be influenced. If you're filling your mind with success stories and trainers or speakers who make you believe that you can do this, then you are going to develop the mindset of a successful person. If you don't intentionally do those things, then you are going to just continue on the path that you're probably on, right? So here's my question for you too. Do you believe, like without a shadow of a doubt, that success is not only eventual, but inevitable? Do you really believe that? Do you believe about this opportunity that people should want to do this? Because you should believe that. And if you don't, then you can build that belief. That is the good news. You're not like stuck where you are at. You can choose your thoughts. You can build your belief. You're not stuck thinking whatever you currently think or believing what you currently believe. You can take action that will build your belief and change your beliefs. People change their beliefs all the time. I used to not believe in Jesus. Now I do, right? So you can build your belief too. What if you want to build your belief in the opportunity? Educate yourself, because your belief is going to affect how you talk to people about this business. So another thing that I loved about what Fallon said was that, like, she was just so bold about the opportunity with whoever she was talking to, whether she was selling them products or not. But if she saw potential in that person, and I was one of them, I mean, she definitely would just tell them. To me, when we're talking about the opportunity, she showed me a Diamond's monthly paycheck. And that was at the time where we were getting paper checks in the mail. And she had a picture of it that someone had sent her, and she showed it to me. And I knew that was a real person. I watched her training videos on YouTube. And I was like, well, that's amazing. I didn't fully conceive that I could do that, but Fallon certainly did. She was like, oh, I'm 100% going to be earning that amount of money. And you can totally do that too. Do it. Let's do it together. And then she talked about Cody, how Cody, who's an emerald on her team, or sapphire, actually, she sold her some products. And she was like, have you ever thought about doing something like this? And Cody was like, no, not really. And she's like, well, you should. I mean, that is just how bold she was, because in her mind, this is a viable option. Not only could people do this, but they should do it. And she really believed that. And once I learned about the business opportunity, I did the same thing. I believed all the same things, and I still do. I really, truly believe that this is the best opportunity in the world. And I know there are professions out there that we need lots of different professions in our economy, but for people that this opportunity can serve, they definitely should take a look at it. And they definitely should do what it takes to overcome their fear, overcome their doubt, build their belief in this opportunity, because it is transformative. All right. So what you believe is going to affect how you talk to people about the business. Another example that comes to mind is Genevieve, because last weekend when we had Momentum Meetup, Christine and I had an opportunity to spend hours and hours with her, just asking her anything we wanted to ask her. And I was asking her, because she was successful in another network marketing company before. And so I was just asking her, what was your life like before you endeavored in network marketing? What inspired you to start your own network marketing business? And she was like, oh, I definitely was not interested in starting a network marketing business. She said, I was a business owner and I already was a six-figure earner. And my friend, she tried to talk to me over and over and over. She kept telling me I should look at this, and I wanted absolutely nothing to do with it. But long story short, what she did not have, even though she had a six-figure income, was time freedom. And so she decided she was going to build a network marketing business eventually. And then once she did, she said, I was just going to my friends who were already successful six-figure earners. Some of them did own businesses. Some of them were just, corporate America, but making a great income. And I would just go to them and say, listen, Susie, we're doing this wrong. We've been doing this wrong. Look at what these girls are doing. They're making more money in less time and all of these other benefits to boot. Our company, my business that I'm earning six figures with, it's not sending me on luxurious trips around the world. It's not putting me on a stage in front of 10,000 people with a big check for bonuses just for doing my job well. It's not giving me prizes and recognition and all of these other things. It's not giving me residual income. And another thing she said was, before she started her network marketing business, one thing that made her decide to go all in was she got sick. And she was in the hospital for 10 days. And she said every single day that went by, she was sitting there thinking to herself, I'm not billable. I'm not billable. I'm not billable. I cannot make any dollars as long as I'm in this hospital bed. And so she was very bold and confident when she was building her network marketing business, when she was talking to her friends who were already successful like she was, because she recognized the benefits of this opportunity. And she believed that what she was offering to people was extremely valuable. And so that's what she did. And that's what you need to do too. Do you really believe that what you're offering people with this opportunity is incredible, extremely valuable, maybe even better than what they are already doing? Because I do believe that. I do believe that. And that is how I have approached people. And I have 5 different level 1s of mine who are emerald or above, and another one who is senior ruby, headed toward emerald. So I have created strong business builders because of what I believe about the opportunity. So what are you believing about the opportunity? Okay, so the first step in creating business builders is that you have to believe that you can do it. You have to believe that it's possible. You've got to be filling your mind with belief, starving your fear. And then you've got to believe in this opportunity. You've got to believe that it is invaluable, what you're offering people. The second thing is you have to be willing to talk about it. I mean, it's really just as simple as that, y'all. You just have to share the opportunity with people. How many people did you share the business opportunity with last week? How many people did you go to last week and say, have you ever thought about doing something like this? Well, you should. How many times in the last 7 days have you had that conversation? How many times have you gone to somebody in the last 7 days and said, listen, we've been doing it wrong. This is what we should do. That is what you have to do. You've got to be willing to talk to people boldly about the business opportunity, and that comes from your belief. You need to be willing to, in your conversations with people, connect the dots for them between their passion and what their potential is here. Do they love healthy things? They could be successful at this. Do they love people? They could be successful at this. Do they have integrity and people trust them? They could be successful at this. Do they like to make money? Could they use extra money? Do they like recognition? Do they like to do fun things that take a lot of money? They could be successful at this. Do they already post on social media periodically? They're already on there. Why not use it to make actual dollars instead of just as a time waster? That phone can be a huge asset. Social media can be a huge asset. It doesn't have to be a liability. Do they live on a fixed income? Do they love to help people? Do they love having fun? Do they want to have lots of friends to go on luxurious trips around the world with? Do they like to travel? Are they a leader? Or are they a team player? Like, guys, the list goes on and on and on of all the reasons that somebody could be successful at this. If you were to line all 250 of our diamonds up, they all look different. Some of them are different genders. Some of them are different skin colors. Some of them are different body shapes and sizes. Some of them are different ages. Like, we have diamonds that span the spectrum of humankind, and anybody can be successful at this. If you were to ask them, how did you become successful at this? How did you get to 4,500 points? You'd likely get 250 different answers. Okay. Anybody can get to 4,500 points, and you have to be willing to share that with people. I think about people diamonds that I know their stories and I respect them a ton. Amber Miller, for example, she's a diamond. She is 3 levels above me. Fallon, Lori, and then Amber Miller. Amber's a homeschool mom who, before Plexus, was selling eggs. She was literally raising chickens and selling eggs for extra money. What do you think is more fun? Raising chickens or selling Plexus? I'm going to give you one guess, because I've had chickens. And so I know that's messy. Okay. We no longer have chickens. We do have a Plexus business. But anyways, Amber is totally outdoorsy. I mean, her Instagram is amazing. You should follow her, Wild Style Family. But she obviously was not as profitable selling eggs as she is selling Plexus. Okay. So Fallon was selling menstrual cups. Okay. Just going to leave that right there. Genevieve, I told you her story. She was already a successful business owner earning 6 figures. Christina was a school teacher, already had a successful career, but she did not have time freedom and she did not have financial freedom. I think about Kayleen. Kayleen is an emerald on my team. She was refinishing furniture, and that is a lot of time and a lot of hard work and sweat of your brow, and not very profitable. And now she's an emerald. I think about Michelle. She is married to an assistant U.S. attorney and living on a fixed income. Her husband is a great provider, but they also have three daughters that they want to provide weddings for and pay for college and put in private school, right? And so a fixed income, like, it only goes so far. And so she wanted to add some wiggle room in their budget so they could take their kids to travel and things like that. If I had looked at her and just assumed, oh, she doesn't need the money, she wouldn't be interested in something like this, I would be missing out on a huge portion of my team. And I would be missing out on a leader who is impacting a lot of people. Okay. I think about April, who was a speech therapist, who had a little boy that she did not want to leave and go back to work as a speech therapist. And this allowed her to be a stay-at-home mom. And now she's pregnant with her third baby. And I think about Emily. Emily had an Etsy shop where she was doing decent with it. I mean, she's talented. Everybody knows Emily makes beautiful graphics. She was making party invitations and selling them on Etsy. Would she have been able to scale that and earn 6 figures or 7 figures doing that? No, there's no way she would have been able to do that. And even if she were to work 24 hours a day, she would not have been able to scale that and make massive amounts of income from it. And even if she could, she would have been doing it by herself, not in the community of people where she gets to go sing karaoke and dance her little heart away at winter's dinner every single year, right? And then I think about Chris Holtzclaw. Whenever she went fast start gold on my team, but when I first approached her about the business opportunity, she's like, no, I don't like people. I've done something. I've done network marketing before, failed at it, lost money, and I don't have time for that. I have 5 kids. I'm homeschooling. I'm driving a bus for insurance. So then she went fast start gold, and now she's an emerald on my team. So all that to say, guys, don't prejudge people. Like, you never know what this opportunity can do for somebody. So do you have a list of people that you are talking to about the opportunity? And are you approaching them boldly? Or are you holding back because you're thinking that, or you're assuming that they are going to think something about network marketing? You're assuming that they're not going to be interested, or that they don't need the money, or that they would never want to do something like this. You shouldn't rob somebody else of an opportunity because of your fear of what they're going to think of you, and you should not let your assumptions rob someone of their transformation. So you need to be sharing boldly the opportunity with every person. Okay. Benefits of this business: residual income. That's hard to come by. You don't just get that from being an employee. You don't even get that from being self-employed. When you have, or even sometimes as a business owner, residual income means you do the work and you keep getting paid over and over and over for the work that you did a long time ago. That's residual income. That's what this business opportunity offers. No income cap. So it's scalable. Like, you can make as much money as you want to make. If you want to increase your income, you totally can give yourself a raise. That is completely up to you. You are never capped out. And for most professions, that's just not the case. You go to college all these years, spend tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars on your education, and then you work 30, 40 years of blood, sweat, and tears, and then you reach an income cap. That's generally how it works for the standard American. But in this business opportunity, there's never an income cap. So who would not want an opportunity like that? Like, it's confusing to me why somebody would not tell somebody about that. The fun. I feel like that's enough said, but we got contests that are fun. Contests that allow us to earn trips or shopping sprees. Who does that? Christina, did you ever get to go on a shopping spree as a school teacher? I didn't think you did. I mean, if I was a business owner earning 6 figures like Genevieve, I wasn't going on shopping sprees, right? So shopping sprees and trips to Hawaii at the nicest resorts. I mean, there are companies that send their people to Hawaii, but they ain't staying at the Four Seasons or the Grand Wailea or the Mauna Lani or anywhere like that, or the banyan tree in Mayakoba. Okay. We can work with community and like-minded people. I mean, most people cannot say that about their job. Most people can't say that. Most people don't like the people that they work with, and therefore they don't like going to work. We have so much fun because we like the people that we work with. And I just feel like that's a rare thing that we can sell to people. Also, Plexus pays for your car. If you are Emerald and above, Plexus literally pays your car payment, or would pay for you to drive a Lexus. Essentially, what we have to offer people here is a laptop lifestyle of freedom. Time freedom where we work for ourselves on our own terms, make our own hours. We don't have a boss, and we can work from anywhere we want to work from. It's freedom is what it is. And I don't understand why everybody's not sharing this opportunity with every person that they know, because you should be. All right. And then the fourth thing is creating business builders. You got to be willing to follow up, because most people can't conceive of themselves doing something like this at first. I don't know if I've ever met a person who, as a child, said, I want to be a network marketer when I grow up. Okay. Fact of the matter is, most people, they've just never considered themselves doing so. I definitely didn't. And even when it was presented to me and I saw that diamond paycheck of what that lady was bringing in monthly, I thought that's for special people. That's what I thought, for real. So it did require some follow-up, and you're going to have to be willing to follow up. But here's the thing. You should only follow up with layered information that would be relevant to them making a decision. Like, it's not like, as much as we want this to be black and white, people come in more colors than just black and white. Sometimes people can be purple and red and pink and blue, right? Like, it's not all going to be black and white. So you need to get to know your people. Like, you need to listen to their objections and follow up about those. So, for example, if they are too busy because they're a homeschool mom, then you would be following up in a way that would speak to a busy homeschool mom. Like, hey, this person right here, look at Megan Goff. She has like 7 kids, I think, or maybe 8. No, I think she has 7 kids, and homeschools, and she's a diamond, and her husband's a diamond. And she's also a senior Ruby on her reentry account. So she's doing big things, and she's got as many kids as you have, or even maybe a few more, right? And so you know that somebody thinks they're too busy because of XYZ reason. Go find someone who is successful with those same reasons, and you follow up about that. You layer the info that is relevant to them specifically. And then, or if like maybe their objection is like, I'm not a salesperson. Go find some introverts who are successful, earning 6 or 7 figures, saying, yeah, when I started this, there's no way I would have ever thought I could be successful because I suck at sales. I was one of those people, y'all. I did another network marketing gig too, and I lost money because I wasn't great at sales. Yet here I am, learning the skills, mastered them, and I'm at the top of the company. Okay. So, or maybe they're telling you they're an introvert, or maybe they're saying they don't like people, or maybe they need product belief. Whatever the case may be, you need to be asking good questions so that you know what their objection is, so that when you do follow up about the opportunity, you can speak directly to what their objection is. This process will never be black and white. It has to be tailored to each person individually, because people's are individual and they have individual needs. But if you know what their objections are, then you can build their belief, and you can layer the information that will help build their belief. Okay, so what will make you be willing to do this and able to do it effectively? This whole process of following up. What do you have to think or believe in order to be willing to do it and be able to do it effectively? You need to think about that, because it's all going to boil down to what you believe. You will never outperform the quality of your thinking. There are people out there, a lot of them, who want and need this opportunity. There's tons of them. You have to be willing to do the work to find those people, present them with an opportunity, and then build their belief that they can be crazy successful at it. That's how you create the hunger in people. Your business also never hinges on any one person. So that's important to understand too, because you don't want to be emotionally attached to somebody else's outcome. When you are sharing the opportunity with people and people show an inkling of interest, you don't have to be emotionally attached, meaning if they don't decide to do it, then you are disappointed or devastated, right? Or at worst, take it personal, that it's something against you, because it has nothing to do with you. Your business never hinges on any one person. And you just keep sharing the opportunity with people and following up about the opportunity with people. And that is the process of creating the business builders. Here's another thing. be diligent. You be diligent and put the work in. And diligence, I love that word. It's a good biblical word. It just means repeated, consistent effort, day in, day out, consistent effort. That is diligence. It doesn't mean that you are killing yourself. It does not mean that you are striving. And it does not mean that you are emotionally attached to someone else's outcome. You can trust that you, in your diligence, are going to put the work in on your business and on yourself, because, and I say you have to work your business, but you also have to work on yourself, because there's going to be some things you got to figure out. But if you are being diligent with putting the work in and figuring the things out that are not currently producing you results after you have engaged in a process for several months on end, but still not getting the results, take the time to evaluate what may not be working and tweak things and try something else to get you the results that you want. If you're diligent in these processes, then you can just work from a place of peace and rest and just allow God to bring the rain. After you have planted the seeds, like you have cultivated your field, you planted the seeds, you watered them, you nurtured them, you gave them what they needed, you can trust that God will bring the rain. And he does, as long as you are being diligent and putting the work in. If you're not putting the work in, then when the rain comes, you get mud. Okay. So it all goes down to what you're believing. What are you thinking? What are you believing about this opportunity? And then how many times a week are you sharing this opportunity with people? So that is the process and the how-to of creating business builders. That's all I got. Good night.